craving punishment? Enjoy getting stressed out?
You wanna play a little game?
Darkest Dungeon was the brainchild of Chris Barassa and Tyler Sigmund. Both had a safe and steady career ahead of them. But put them together and they got some great ideas.
Actions are permanent, there's no save scumming.
It's a bastard of a game.
Lord and Savior. And Jesus.
Annihilated.
They established Red Hook Studios to make it happen. It didn't take long before they ran out of money, so they turned to Kickstarter, and when the time came, they launched on Steam's Early Access. Small patches between the big content updates, many things ended up getting scrapped, being too expensive or taking too long to implement. They focused on what was their original vision for the game, doubling their efforts to make it as satisfying as possible. At some point, the Hound and the Quirks happened. Furries and necrophiliacs were delighted. But asking for people to clean up their mess is just too much, man.
Oh, that's what a review bomb looks like.
They kept the feature, and when the rage subsided, the game was better for it. It got popular on Twitch, sold over 1 million copies, and now has spawned its own series of copycat clones, reaching of its success with revamped combat or similar aesthetics. It's come full circle with a confirmed sequel. Yeah, you know I'm gonna be playing that shit.
Like me, you are a part of this place.
You open it, the letter. It begs you to return home. As you are about to arrive, your father offs himself. Now, in his new ethereal form, he can freely skip child support and continue to berate you from afar, driven mad by the ancestral's constant nagging.
Wherefore, heroism. This is no place for the weak. More dust, more ashes, more disappointment.
You'll start taking your frustrations out on the other peaceful races of the realm.
Enemy spotted.
The fish people, fighting for the right to bear arms. The swine folk that can't keep it to themselves and found alternative uses for your skin as well. The skelly boys just want you to come down and taste their cum. The fungi that are looking for a new friend. And lastly, the vamps who just want a little suck.
Won't you fight for your life?
But war ain't cheap, and while picking heroes from the stagecoach is a freebie, fully upgrading one will tank your economy. On my first campaign, I tried to make a hero out of every bum that showed up at my doorstep. I was broke, my hamlet was a dump, and my most loyal subject had just contracted a venereal disease from the local prostitute. D&D is a game about choices. The RNG is bad enough. Don't help it by making mistakes. Outside of upgrades, your gold is wasted on de-stressing your tenants so they can get back to work.
God!
Health is fully restored between dungeons, so you don't have to worry about that. Stress must be prayed away, or through other means.
Psych! Psych!
Sanity is costly, treatments have a chance to go wrong, it locks up your favorite meat sack for the week, and it's generally not worth it, as you'll be cycling through garbage until you find a worthy addition to your roster.
You look confused, boy! You ready to join the army, nigga? Damn it!
Get the stagecoach back and running. It will be your livelihood for the first few weeks. Guild and Blacksmith are next. Sanitarian then takes priority. Get the Jews on your side. The rest is optional. This is how most party wipeouts happen early on. Read the inscriptions, read it again, then proceed to put a torch in it. I mean, realistically, how hard can it be?
Ha! What the fuck?
I'm not here to spoiler, parade, or dictate how you should play the game, but you were clearly warned about putting your stick where it don't belong.
Touch me, you fucking pervert!
Yeah!
Listen, I've got a lot of people killed, some in the dungeons
The best
too.
way to end a relationship? Fucking stop talking to her.
Nah, like it depends, man. It honestly depends on what's
depends,
going on.
It depends. I don't know, but the shovel always does the trick.
Man, see, that's the thing with Lofty. Lofty's one day, they're gonna hop into the chat, they're like, hey, you know...
Hey, you guys wanna know where I hit the body?
It's when you're feeling invincible that the game likes to remind you. You can always retreat, so make no assumptions on success. It's not guaranteed. It's never guaranteed. Fucking hell, man.
If you make all the right choices in Darkest Dungeon, you plan, you assemble a great team, you're experienced, you pick the right quest, you etc., etc. We want you still to get your ass kicked sometimes, basically.
Let's talk classes.
We did hardly any playtesting.
Fuck yeah!
You will hate her kit, come to appreciate it. Rely on her, design a team around her, try to profit in a trinket farming operation. Hope Red Hook doesn't find out. Go legal and offer social security to your employees and watch them rob you blind and waste your efforts. When you're exhausted, just evict the thought. You pick her for the tits and you keep her for the grits. The Highwayman is a melee ranged tanky DPS dot assassin with a high dodge, high crit, high accuracy, riposte, bleed, shuffle and multi-range abilities that will do a lot of this. That's to say, he's completely balanced. You'll see a lot of this with the leper.
Oh my god, you have like a raging boner.
Leprosy has taken a toll on his eyesight, so if he's hitting at least once per battle, you really got nothing to be mad about. Don't feel bad about losing a leper. In a way, you're freeing him from the pain of existence. He also makes up for grades too. The Crusader is a versatile tank that will come in clutch at the end of the turn, stunning or finishing off any enemy left standing. He excels at subjugating the local scabby community, race cleansing with Holy Lancing Crusaders. It's beautiful, man.
Impressive.
The Vestal is a heal slut with a stun and extra light if you want to take the fun out of the game and breeze through the dungeons at minimal risk.
I'm not no shame in my game. I am what I am. I'm a warrior too, you know, so...
The Flagellant can do this. The Arbalest and the Musketeer are twin classes that share the same purpose, bringing pain from the back row and destroying marked targets.
Blocker!
Shaggy and Scoob made their way into the game. They bring guard, bleed, stun, steroids, mark damage, and they're the bane of Pickkind's existence. The Shield Breaker is that post-launch class that's miles ahead of the rest. Pierce is just broken. You never take her on a camping trip though. The Man-at-Arms excels at everything except for the use of said armament. He yells a lot.
Annihilated.
oh, look, we tried to fix the jester like 3 times. But the
Yeah, he still needs fixing. The abomination stunts consistently, self-heals, and hits hard. He's so good, every other party member is intimidated by the size of his massive 8-inch eldritch.
You're so fucking weird, but you do have a big dick.
The Hellion was so fun to play with, they added debuffs to most of her abilities. Now you either spam stuns or you go full crit night runs. The Occultist is the meme maker, game breaker, eldritch hater of the bunch. In all of my combined campaigns, he's probably killed more meat sacks than any other enemy in the game. I just use him a lot. I can't say why. This backline stun bot, Ebola dispensing bleed bright healer, has a rather deceptive outfit. She's loved by the community, maybe a bit too much. Oh no, here we go again. The bounty hunter hates everyone, and he's got the perks to make them pay. As long as you mark them, he will collect bandits, hippies, the elderly, the disabled, the deranged, the obese, and that's when he's not hunting big game.
I get dressed in the morning, I triggered.
Feels like the male fantasy.
Gone.
There's multiple parties to try and experiment with. You could build a team that synergizes with each other, mitigating their individual weaknesses, min-maxing every little detail to fit your strategy, or a makeshift team with whoever's left after stress relief and quirk enforcement. You got standard front lines, anchored by range and support, mark comps, stun locks, crit stackers, riposte junkies, dodge pileups, dot enthusiasts, Jerusalem, buffing maniacs, and lastly, shuffle comps. If this is your first playthrough, I recommend you burn through a lot of torches and bring a ton of food, trying out these comps to avoid any unnecessary frustrations. There are no bad heroes, only bad team comps, poor preparation, and awful decisions. I've seen people beat bosses with a one-man army, or the game with one class only. If the game's too stressful, the grind too severe, I get that. But if you can't beat it because of the difficulty, you need to get your head checked. As you progress through the game, you will eventually run into one of these. There are 2 of them in each dungeon. They are mechanically designed to kill as many heroes as possible. You'll need to rethink your strategy and adapt to their unique gimmick. On the loading screen leading to these encounters, Daddy Dearest will explain to us just how much he fucked up. I recommend you whip out a pen and paper for these, as they're an excellent opportunity to improve your English lexicon.
I always wondered what became of the unfortunate little waif. The aquatic devils that remade the poor girl in their image. She is their queen and their slave. Cornered, trapped, and forced to fight on.
Quirks are randomly assigned at the end of expeditions. They're another way RNG can screw you over. Some directly affect the way a meat sack behaves in town or in the dungeons. These are usually restrictive or enforce certain interactions with curios. The majority of them are just menial stat upgrades. A few of them you always want, regardless of class, walk them in immediately. Some of them you can tolerate, and others are to be removed at the sanitarium, or enough to make you dismiss a character on the spot. There's no eviction penalty, so take advantage.
And give him a beating and let him go.
Let me share with you the terrible wonders I have come to know.
The two most useful stats are speed and scouting. If you want to rush them down, speed is what you need. If you're tired of bending over to the RNG, scouting does the trick. It lights up the dungeon. You can disarm traps now, and no more shuffling. If you're going for the endless harvest, Vestal and Jester are necessary for heal and stress relief. I like to run them with a double shield breaker railgun, but there are other ways to do it. If you're feeling lucky, forgo all that stuff and just rely on dodge, see how far you can get. Don't visit the Warrens. That's a bit of a segue. There's this vile beast working there that has been vilified by the community. A certain move he possesses that has caused some stirring in the forums. Aight, listen. I know you've sacrificed life and limb to bring back this hole, but your insurance doesn't cover the 20 plus diseases you caught because you kept missing the little piglet. Should have gone to the cove and bled to death. Diseases are expensive to get rid of, except for rabies. You don't treat rabies, and it's too good to leave it to chance.
Nah, you want to farm it.
I take my most proven warriors, champions of plenty expeditions. Get to the world. Fight my way to the dogs, and just sit there. The ancestor is bewildered. The dogs are confused. The BT snorts. Ray whistles. The jester is still ramping up now. I'm here for a reason, and I'm not leaving until everyone is frothing at the mouth. You can have a go with a leper. Oh shit! He actually did it. Once it's done, resign the quest and leave. Rinse and repeat. Every time I come back to do another campaign, I always regret it. It ends up being too much of a grind. I never get the exact quirks and trinkets I want, triggering my OCD. I always lose at least one meat sack I had heavily invested in. In conclusion, it's a great game, but the Viper ruined it for me. By the way, there's a lot of mods out there that address pretty much every aspect of the game. They recently added a Carnival PvP mode, and it's been a lot of fun, shouting people to death or chopping them in half to watch the subsequent rage quit. It's my kind of therapy.
Take it easy, dude, but take it.